Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Showing Up to Your Life podcast and YouTube channel. My name is Art Burns here on a Monday morning. Feeling pretty excited, but, it's a little strange. This is going to be a bit of a strange episode here because I'm partially here to just make an announcement. But I didn't want to just not record a video. So I do have a topic to talk about. There's something in my little black book that I have for you today. So we're gonna have an episode. But really, the thing that I want to do today is I want to let you all know. I know I've mentioned this a few times leading up in the last few weeks, right? I have been working an awful lot of days in a row. And so I am, by necessity as much as desire, I'm going to carve out a couple of days a week that I'm not working anymore. Okay. So, normally you all don't see me on the weekends, but I work on the weekends. So that's where it gets a little tricky here. So starting this week, okay, I'm going to start taking Mondays and Tuesdays off. Now, that means that today I'm recording this video, but tomorrow I'm not going to record a video, okay, or a podcast. It will come out. My podcast and YouTube channel will be published starting, I guess, next week, technically, Wednesday through Sunday. Okay, so you're still going to get 5 episodes a week. That's not going to change, but they're going to be on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday instead of Monday through Friday. All right, so that's just what's happening. I just want to let y'all know. Again, it's really important that we take time, away from work, even if we love what we do, right? Which I do. I absolutely adore what I do, and I could not. I don't think I could not do this. Like even on a day off, like it's not like I'm not going to do anything for this work, right? Like I'm gonna, consider things. I'll probably write a few ideas down in my black book. I mean, there's lots of stuff always to be done, right? But the point is, though, that we need to protect ourselves, and we need to carve out some time in which we are, just having some downtime. Right, like that is very, very important. Right now, in my work in stress reduction, I've experienced quite a bit of information and quite a bit of experience with people who are dealing with burnout. Right, and I can tell you that burnout is, very, very much tied to, to not get, one of the things that helps to develop burnout, if you need any help with it, is to not take breaks from your work, right? And so again, even if it's something you love, it's important to take some time away so that you can continue to have the passion for it, right? You can continue to have the drive for it. Otherwise, it's going to get tiring just like anything else. Right. And that also goes for all of the stuff that we do in our lives. It's good to take a little bit of a break sometimes. Right. Now, that's not necessarily true for things that we're trying to, when we talk about like, trying to make changes in our lives, when you hear about people going on a diet. Right. A lot of times you hear about these cheat days that people talk about. Right. So like, I'm on a strict diet from Saturday through Sunday, but on Friday, or Saturday through Thursday rather, but on Friday I get to have pizza, right? It's like that is not the way to get your body used to eating healthy food, right? If you're doing that, you're just gonna kind of create this sort of just a different sort of clinging that you're probably struggling with already, right? And so in a lot of things, when we're talking about, and meditation practice is this way too, right? Like it's really helpful to do it every single day, not to take not to do it 5 days a week, right? But to do it every single day, right? It's very, very helpful. In fact, the Zen proverb says, meditate 20 minutes every morning. And on the morning where you feel like you don't have the time or don't feel like doing it, you should meditate for an hour, right? So there are certain things that it is helpful to do day after day after day after day, but there are other things that it's helpful to take a break from and to recharge yourself, to refresh yourself, right? And so the way to find out what's what with that, right? Which things you should be pursuing and which things are, really need a little bit of time away. Well, that's, follow your awareness, right? And certainly, if you want to talk about this is something I could certainly help you figure out as a coach, right? And as always, there'll be a link in the comment with which you can schedule a free call with me to talk about that, okay? So I don't want to get too far into that. Maybe I'll make a little note in my book, and we'll do that later in the week. We'll do a whole episode about that. But today's episode kind of does relate to that a little bit, right? So today's episode is about, a lot of times we talk about triggers, right? And we talk about, knowing the triggers, recognizing the triggers, right? I talk about that a lot in this podcast because when we can recognize and notice the triggers, that the things that trigger us in our lives, right? We are able to, when we can see them more clearly, we're able to avoid them a little bit, right? Or work with them so that we don't become completely triggered in our emotions and in our stress and everything else, right? And so yeah, it's very, very important to understand what triggers you and what doesn't, right? And so those are, very, very valuable things to do. And this is also something that we get when we deepen our awareness, right? As we deepen our awareness, we kind of see those things that trigger us here and there, right? And so what about the positive triggers? Right? That's the question that I have for you today, because, a lot of times, again, we talk all about those negative triggers, right? But isn't it as important or as helpful to understand the things that make us happy, the things that lift us up, right? There's that interior design lady, I forget her name, but she says that, she tells you to get rid of your books unless they spark joy, right? That's her thing, right? Well, I can't remember her name for the life of me. I'm sure Kondo, Maria Kondo, is that it? I think that's it. But that's the thing, right? There are things in our lives that generate happiness, that generate good feelings, right? There's things in our lives that trigger our negative emotions, right? And now, as I've always said here, and I try to say in just about every episode, right? It's not about avoiding the negative emotions, right? It's not about hiding from them or running from them. Okay, it's very important to continue to feel and continue to experience those negative emotions because those are good for you. They're helpful for you, right? Don't run away from them. However, when we're in the midst of something, it's nice to know that there is a way out, right? And it's nice to know that we have the ability to enact a tool or an ability to get ourselves out of that place, right? Now, again, it's really, really helpful to feel the negative emotions as they arise, to not just run away from them, not just try to change it right away, right? And so that's not what I'm talking about here, right? What I'm talking about is when we're in this kind of, negative state, right? Well, really, to put it simply, like if if I was going to advise you as a coach, right, I would tell you, know your positive triggers, right? Know those things that lift your emotions up, right? And so whether that's a cup of coffee or going out and working in your garden or having a certain type of food, listening to a certain type of music, moving your body, dancing, doing a workout, all these kind of things could be the thing for you, right? And so whatever that thing is, or those constellation of things that spark your joy in your heart, right? Have those in your back pocket, okay? Because I'm going to tell you why, right? When you're having a time where the negative emotions are just, gripping you and you're having a hard time with it, right? You're struggling with it, right? So if I was going to advise you as a coach, I would tell you, feel those emotions for a period of time, right? Give yourself 5 minutes or so and really sit with them, right? No matter how much they hurt, no matter how discomforting it is, no matter how inconvenient it is, right? Give yourself 5 minutes to sit with those emotions and really feel them, right? And then, right? Because the thing is, a lot of times, one of the things that I hear from a lot of my clients, and that I'm looking for a better word than clients, but one of the things that I hear from a lot of people is that they're very busy, right? We're all very busy, right? We all got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, here, I'm a mindfulness coach, and I've worked 6 or 7 weeks in a row every single day, right? So we're all busy, right? Everyone. And so it's not just you, and it's not just your spouse, it's not just your friends. Everyone is busy, okay? Or most people. And so one of the things that I hear a lot is, I don't have time to feel those emotions, right? Like I have a business to run. I have children to take care of. I have, a garden to deal with. I have, errands to run. I have food to cook. I have thing after thing after thing after thing after thing after thing, right? And those are all valid things. And I get it. I totally get it. And so that's where it doesn't have to be an all or nothing, right? So that's where if you have these kind of techniques in your back pocket, right? Let's say, for me, right, it's putting on some Grateful Dead music, cranking it up loud, and dancing like nobody's watching, right? If I do that, I am guaranteed, as sure as the sun is going to shine, I am guaranteed to come out of my funk and become energized and become, sort of elated and lifted up. And it works every single time. I shouldn't say that. There are times where I'm like, nah, I don't feel like it. But that's those times where it's like, okay, now is when you should feel that emotion, right? If sometimes you feel so down that it's like, I don't even want to put the music on right now, right? Well, that's a sign that, okay, so sit with the emotion then for a little while. And then when you feel like it, then put the music on. Right. And so, but if you're finding yourself the other way and you're finding yourself, oh my gosh, give me the music, give me the music, give me the music. Well, then that's a sign also. Stop for a moment, right? Wait, hold on, right? Let yourself feel the emotions for a little while, right? And again, even if it's just for a few minutes, right? Because again, I know we're all busy, right? We can't just call off all of our obligations for the afternoon just so we can wallow in our grief, right? Or stew in our anger, right? Like we can't necessarily do that, right? Again, we got kids to feed, we got clothes to, groceries to buy, we got cars to drive, we got jobs to work, we got, errands to run, we got soccer to take our kids to, all that kind of stuff, right? We're busy people. Jon Kabat-Zinn says we should change the name of our species to human doings instead of human beings because it's very seldom that people just be, right? And that's just the way life is. And I'm not telling you that you shouldn't do that, right? Because, your life is constructed in a certain way. You can't just unplug everything and say, no, I'm not going to do soccer anymore, right? It doesn't work that way, right? And so it's very key to acknowledge that we're very busy and that we have limited time in which to indulge our emotions, right? And that is okay, right? But what we can do is in that limited time, do it for that limited time because something is better than nothing. Right. Ideally, you let your emotions just work through, ideally the way that we're supposed to operate, just like the animals, right? When we feel these overwhelming emotions, we're supposed to simply do nothing but feel the emotions, right? But again, our world, our society is built in such a way that that's just not acceptable for most people. And that's okay. So for that, that's where it doesn't have to be the all or nothing, right? It doesn't have to be just rolling around on your living room floor for 2 hours in this overwhelming grips of grief and just misery, right? It doesn't have to be that. It could, and in some ways, again, it should be that, right? Like that's the natural response, but it's not a societally accepted response, right? And so there's a middle way. Right? There's a third way. And that third way is exactly what I'm talking about here, right? Give yourself a few minutes, right? And you can even set a timer, right? Even if it's like 1 minute, just set a time for 1 minute and feel those emotions. Just let yourself soak in them, right? No matter how much they hurt, let yourself feel them. But really let yourself feel them. Be present with them. Like really feel as much as you can. Try to, feel as everything that's in there, right? Like really set that intention and do it. But then have those positive triggers in your back pocket, knowing that you could turn on a stand-up comedian on YouTube, or you could turn on, a Jay Shetty or an Alan Watts or whatever, whatever it is for you. Your favorite podcast, your favorite, go have your favorite cupcake, your ice cream, whatever it is, like find those things, identify those things and give yourself a list of them, right? Because sometimes, yeah, the music's not going to do it for me today. It's just like, I'm a little jerried out right now. I need to do something different. And maybe I'm tired. Usually a brisk walk or a bike ride is what does it for me. But I'm tired. My body's tired, and that's not going to work for me today. So having like say 4 or 5 things that are those go-to things for you that just make you happy, right? Have a list of those things and have them ready for you. Right? To be able to go out to your favorite restaurant or get your favorite pizza or favorite ice cream. It doesn't have to be big things. Right? It can be little things. I mean, as much as going to a restaurant, or it could simply also be just, thinking about your children. Right? It could be something very, very simple. Right? Or thinking about your dog or your cat. Right? But have those things. Have them in your little toolbox. Right? Your little tool belt, pull it out like, oh, here's my favorite music. Let me put this on. This is exactly what I want today. Right. But do this in a mindful way. Right. Which means, be intentional about it. And again, allow yourself to to be exposed to those emotions for a little bit. It's going to help you, because what it's going to do is it's going to give you a deeper level of awareness of those emotions. And as you deepen your awareness of those emotions, you learn to regulate yourself in the face of those emotions, right? And so over time, what happens is you need those go-to things less and less frequently, right? And when and those times where you do need them, it's gonna be very obvious and be very intuitive and very easy for you to just do it. All right, folks. I know this is a short episode today. I know one particular person's going to give me a hard time, and you know who you are, AC, and your initials. And so, sorry, but it's technically my day off, so I'm calling it a little early today. I hope you don't mind. I hope you'll forgive me for that. But yeah, if anybody wants to set up a call with me, okay, and talk more about this was kind of a really important, but sort of we kind of covered it quickly. Very important topic though. So if there's something you didn't understand or have questions about, please reach out. Okay, there's a link in the description below that is a link to my calendar. You can book a call with me in like 2-3 clicks. Okay, and like typing up like your name and your email address. That's it, really. So check it out. I actually just upgraded the system, so you'll get some reminders for this call too. So if you want, just check it out just for that. See if it works. See if the reminder prompts work. All right, everybody. And if you have any questions, you can also email me back, art@artburnscoaching.com, or just reply to the email that you received this video link in. All right. And if you haven't already, please do all the YouTube and all the podcast things. Okay. On YouTube, it would be like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, ding. And for all of you on the podcast, if you could rate and review, if available to you. I don't think Spotify allows you to, but Apple does. It would be fantastic. All right, it helps me to get into the algorithm of these different platforms and elevates my visibility, and I get seen by more people, which means that I get to help more people, and that's the name of the game here, folks. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the short episode, AC. I'll make it up for you some other time. All right, and don't forget, there's no episode tomorrow, but I'll be back on Wednesday. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.